and welcome back, my darling Diamonds in the Rough. I am your favorite talking stone, and today we are back with some more daily puzzles. Now, let us just hop right in with some Wordle. And as always, you know our favorite starting word, jazzy. We get an A, we get an A. That's all we get. But I always love to follow it up with plant when the A is on the spot. Oh, and we get a nice tea. An iced tea. I'm drinking some iced tea. Drinking some Arizona half and half iced tea and lemonade. I love Arizona iced tea. And I love the fact that it's been 99 cents since I was born. Oh man. A fact that doesn't raise just makes me very happy. Like the Costco hot dog. It is eternal. But what else is eternal? I was going to try to think of a word. Maybe TH. Thaw. Not thaw. Not thaw, but A can't be in the second or third spot. I think it's going to be in the fourth spot. And we need a letter after it. So maybe, can we do a triple consonant? Like, what would be a good triple consonant at the beginning of a word? SH, like shred, but shra. No, I don't know. So I think we're gonna have to do a double vowel then. Not the most fortunate, but T. Not tear it, but that was my first guess. Of course, the T at the end and the A second letter we can't do. But maybe or solar. Oh, we don't have an L. I was going to say molar as well, unfortunately no L. And we need a T. Toast is a word. Unfortunately, A cannot be in the second spot, and T cannot be in the last spot. Steam. S-T-E-A-M. That's nice. That's a word. That fits. I don't see any... Yeah, let's do it. Oh no, we have an A at either the beginning or at the end. Maybe try the beginning. Art. I was going to say artsy. Fortunately, no S or no Y. Or maybe it's at the end of the word. Oh, man. I know there are so few words that could possibly end in A, but they're always also the hardest words to think of. We have a T. What goes before an A at the last letter? What goes before this A? Let's think of that. R-A, maybe? Extra? Force the note. Oh, man, we could have guessed extra. If only we could guess extra. Unfortunately, the E cannot be used as we used it in Steam. How unfortunate. But this is a good baseline. But let's try R-A. Let's think of something that ends in R-A. And we need a T as well. Actually, let's start with A. Let's not do that. Let's try aorta? Okay. That's something. Do we start with the O? And then with the TA? No. I think it's OTA. What are the first two? Quota. That's something. Do we got it? We do. That is wonderful. That stressed me out. That was difficult. I'm so, how do I say this? Unacquainted with words that start with a QU. Or just a Q, or have a Q in them. I don't think I've ever had one of those in a Wordle. But that is, wow. What a tough word. Pushed us near the edge as well. We only had one extra guess after that. But we overcame it and overcame what we did. Now let's try to overcome the mini. Right, let us begin. Call from an unknown number, often spam. I am very fortunate. I know my relatives have complained about spam calls. I rarely get them. I mean, I don't really get them. I do get some calls from unknown numbers, but they're not spam. 5. Where a dog might like to be scratched. By its ear, its head, its belly. They call it a tummy. It could be a tummy as well, but we'll leave it like this. Looking forward to, excited, eager. Actually, yeah, it might be eager. Yeah, let's put eager. E-A-G-E-R, eager. Shell that can be played as a wind instrument. A conch. Oh, like the conch from SpongeBob. I believe it was the conch from SpongeBob. Well, that was different. That wasn't an instrument. That was, it was like a magic 8-ball. You ask the conch question, you pull that little string, let it reel back in, and it would give you a response. Yes. No. 42. Something like that. Oh, the magic conch from SpongeBob. That episode was quite the doozy. Alright, 8. Patella's place. Flower, right? That's a part of a flower? Stem? I'm gonna say stem. Okay, close but not quite. We're definitely wrong, but let's at least look at the other side. Yeah, this is definitely wrong. Siot? Not really a word. Affix, as a pact. I was thinking like you sew on a patch, so probably ear's wrong, but yeah, we're definitely wrong. And here, polygony, that's weird. Maker of connections. But I first started the New York Times connections themselves, which would be the New York Times games, but I'm not sure. Maker of connections. We'll move on from that one. Going down a literary rabbit hole. Oh, Alice. So it's not eager. And it's not stem. Literary rabbit hole. What story is famous for going down a rabbit hole? Alice in Wonderland. So that is my assumption. The Great Wall of China is visible from space, for one. I don't know. MY is such a weird start. Not that it's inherently wrong, but it's just a weird start. Especially with belly here. Seeming like it can fit. Tummy. Yeah, because this L seems important. Seems correct. But we'll move on. Where a human might like to be scratched. Back scratch. Oh, that's nice. I was thinking head. Underneath the chin, but a nice back scratch. That's nice. Look forward to, I don't know, patella's. Oh, is that a bone in the knee? I think it might be. Sew on. So we were right with sew. That's nice. Maker of connections. Well, it's probably about like plane, plen, pline, plone, ploon. I'm gonna go plane. Oh yeah, planes are connecting flights from A to B. So they make connections. And await. Oh, that makes sense. Last one we're thinking of. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. It's in quotations. So saying that is a myth. It's not visible from space. I've never been in space. I can't confirm or deny the myth. But astronauts probably can. And I assume that if they say it's visible from space, it is. And if it isn't, then it isn't. Though there is a chance that they could just be pulling a bit of a practical joke. There could be some jokesters. Astronauts probably have a good sense of humor. The requirements to be an astronaut are crazy from last I checked. I don't really check the requirements, but there are always some incredibly accomplished people. It's so respectable. Like, these people are just, how do I say it? As the kids say, built differently. But do you want to know what else is built differently? The connections. I've realized a lot of my, transitions are But do you know what X? But do you know what Y? But do you know what Z? Do I need to diversify my banter? Ooh, that might be interesting. But we continue regardless. Mean. I'm thinking like the mathematical average mean, or I'm thinking mean, like the opposite of kind-hearted. Evil-spirited. Like the girls from Mean Girls. I think. I've never watched Mean Girls, so I actually cannot say. Eagle. That's, I'm looking down and I see birdie, but that's like a golf term. And I also see par, but we'll, and I always like to read ahead, but these four are just golf and holes. And I'm so, really? Oh, that's annoying. If you're going to do a red herring, you have to make it at least just one. Sorry, you can't make it 4, you have to make it 3. But that's beside the point. Well, that's what I get for trying to jump ahead. Eagle, I was thinking golf, but now I'm thinking along the lines of a bird. A free bird. Bald eagle. Ooh, it could be bald. Or it could be like a character named Eagle, like... Oh man, what was his name from Hajime no Ippo? I know his name was Eagle, the second world-class champion that Takamura fought. I think... No, it was not Brian Eagle. That was Brian Hawk. David Eagle, right. Could be character like that. Some person's name than Eagle. But we'll continue. Standard. This is like the average, I'd say. It kind of goes along with mean a bit. But, yeah, it's a standard. It's what everything is built up to be. It's the bare minimum of something you want it to be, and it's the perfect reference. Spokes. I'm thinking the spokes on a wheel. Gentle. Thinking like a soft touch, very soft, I guess is the right word to say. Comforting, caring, gentle. Birdie, I was thinking golf terms, but I've been thoroughly punished for that, and I repented for jumping the gun. So birdie could be a child looking at a bird. That's all I got. Yankees, the New York Yankees. I believe they recently set a record for home runs in a game. Well, no, were they tied a record? Or they tied second place? I don't know. And it was like their second game of the season. Very, very impressive. I hear they're also using new bats that are able to hit the ball harder while still within the rule set of the MLB, which is very impressive. And I think maybe that technology will get probably adapted by other 29, 31 teams? Just to, I guess, even the playing ground. Because scoring is fun. In any sport, scoring more results in better viewership. Obviously, not all scoring is the same. Like, scoring more in soccer is a bit more impressive than scoring more in basketball. Well, depending on how much more you score. Like a soccer game that ends 7-2. It's a blowout, but it's a fun blowout. But compare that to a basketball game that ends 130 to 118. That's a convincing win, but it's not considered a blowout. But we'll continue. Par. That goes along with standard and mean, but it also went along with golf terms. So I don't really know. Crafts. What you do in 50% of Minecraft. Crafting is 50% of Minecraft. The other 50% is mining. And the last 50% is... adventure. I understand that adds up to 150, but it's Minecraft. It's not Mathcraft. We don't need perfect answers. It's a perfect game for fun. But yeah, crafts, either crafting in a game, or maybe you're crafting like a bracelet like you do at a summer camp. Like handmade goods, arrows, either an actual arrow or maybe just a pointer arrow. Okay, that does not make sense. An arrow with an arrowhead that you'd fire from a bow, or an arrow that points to something. I'm sorry, that was very, silly. A bogey. Maybe, ooh, this might be gross sounding, but a booger. That is a child's term for booger. The boogie monster as well. It could be a monster. Could be a monster. Or to boogie, to get down on the dance floor. Let's continue. Shield, I'm thinking... not ancient weapons, but like medieval weapon. Well, every culture has a shield, and shields go very deep in history. But I'm thinking that. I'm thinking SHIELD, the acronym for Marvel, for that organization. Or I'm thinking just to protect. A dolly. What a child would call a doll. Just noticing a lot of child words like birdie and bogey, but we'll see if there's a thread later. Or dolly, something you would put on the floor with wheels that is used to move something. The norm, that is like the average, and I think I'm going to guess that because there's a lot that resemble that. But we'll continue. An olive branch. I'm thinking a branch of olives. I believe there's an idiom for olive branches that I do not recall. But we'll continue. And Kate. This is a name. This is just a name. I don't know. Well, Norm is also a name. Okay, let's hurry up with our guess. Mean, par, norm, and standard. This is our average. This is what we're doing. Yep, average. There we go. Now it's the hard part. Yankees. That makes me think America, actually, now that I think about it. Because, you know, it's not just the New York Yankees, the baseball team. It's the Yankees, the founding fathers are Yankees, I guess. 2 away. Eagle also makes me think America. What else makes me think America? That's kind of it. That's it. That's what I got. But let's continue. Arrows point with their weapon. Like a shield isn't weapon that's without gunpowder? Huh. Let's see. What else do we have? Shield, arrows, spokes. Spokes on a wagon. No, that's... Well, let's think of child words. Dolly, birdie, bogey, and... gentle. You would say gentle to a child, but... Yeah, I just want to see if this is the right thread that we're following. It's not. Nothing. Move this up. No, I'm not. Okay, so that was the wrong thread. Crafts, no. Spokes. With spokes of a boot? I think you can have spokes on a boot. What else? What else? I'm racking my brain, but it is not flapping. No, eagle. This would be, I think, Roman history. I read the Percy Jackson series and the Roman spin-off series, and I believe... And I went to, one of my classes had a big unit on, like, Roman history. I think, what is it, SPQ? I don't even know what that Roman thing is, but you have the eagle, the flag bearer, I'm ranting, but I believe eagle and olive branch go together. Is what might go together. If I'm following this thread in my head, that is just not sewing through. It's not connecting. Arrows and shields. Let's go with that. This is Roman cavalry. Oh. Okay. We used the wrong formula but got the right answer. Pictured on the U.S. Great Seal. I have never deliberately looked at the U.S. Great Seal, so... Actually, am I? I don't recall, actually, if I have. But there's a reason. I don't really care to look at it. So we got it. That's nice. Let's continue. Bogey monster. Any other monsters? Crafts, gentle, dolly, Kate. I was thinking maybe Kate from... Oh, what was that movie? I don't even remember what it's called. It's older than me, I believe. About this... It's this horror movie where I think this girl has like psychic powers, whatever. It's real in the movie, and she's just basically bullied by her classmates. And I believe it's the famous movie that introduced like the dumping of blood during like the prom queen scene, the fake election, whatever you call it, as a prank. I don't know what movie I'm talking about. Maybe Editor Me will look it up, but maybe she's a horror movie protagonist, and a bogey monster is a horror protagonist. And if you were the Yankees' opponents for that 8 home run game, you are Facing a monster? No, that's not it. That's not it. That is not it. But let us think. Hoo boy indeed. Spokes. Oh, the child would say spokes instead of speak, dolly instead of doll, birdie instead of bird. Yankees instead of hanky? This is one away. I Kate instead of I ate. But didn't we already do Kate? I'm gonna say it anyway, I don't know. Ooh, that hurts. And one of them? Okay. I should resize the screen better, but here we go. Proper nouns in Broadway musical titles that are spoken phrases. Yeah, I was not getting that one, at least not intentionally. Wow, these were difficult. And man, boogeyman, craftsman, gentleman, spokesman. Okay. I should have I should have seen spokesman, but that's a clever one. I would not have gotten craftsman though. Well, okay, now that I say it out loud, it does make more sense. Like a craftsman, someone who makes crafts. But the blue I was never getting. That was difficult. That was very hard. I don't really have much else to say about it. Just wow. Wow indeed. But we have our chance to make up. We have one more game, one more special little game. And today's extra game is none other than... I was doing the wrong transition. We'll roll with it. We are doing none other than Listed. Now, what's the name of the game? In this game, your goal is to guess the sale price of a recently sold property. Through each guess, you will learn more about the property and get feedback for your guess. Straight up is much higher. Diagonal up is a little higher. Houses you win. Down left is a little... Sorry, down right is a little lower. And down is much lower. Alright. So, a little higher, a little lower is if you're within 10% or 10,000. And if to win, you need to be within 1% or 5,000. Okay, that's nice. Seems like a little bit. Let us play. Alright, this is traditional, like, what is it, a ranch-style home? It seems like a rather large property. However, it does not look like it's in a... I'm using this from a U.S. perspective, and because of the American flag here, I do believe it is in the U.S. Let's see, any other defining features I can see? Anything that I can tell? Let's see, anything else? The stonework in the front yard is impeccable. It's pretty solid. It's pretty good. Actually, you know what? Let me zoom in a bit. Is that better for all of us? That is. Okay, I do apologize for that, but we can continue. So we have all that. What other goodies do we have? Sold on 3/18/2025. Oh, wow. 12 days ago, at the time of this recording. This back here looks like to be some sort of extension or something. And we'll see another home over here in the distance. So this property is on a rather large plot of land. But what about the house itself? Well, it has a really nice deck out front. It looks well maintained. Shrubbery's kind of a bit small, but really nice. Wow, that's confusing. I do think this is in a low cost of living area. However, the house itself is a really nice property. So while the state or area might be low cost of living, I think the actual zip code might be higher. I'm going to guess 325,000. 325,000 to start us off. Oh, we are much higher. Oh, wow, it's bigger than I thought, too. Oh, it's deeper than I thought, actually. I was looking at it as if it only had one story. And I think it still might, but look at this space. And this is just the first. Oh, we can go back. Wow, I underestimated the depth. I should have looked at this and thought of it more. And location is St. Cloud, Florida. Oh, that makes sense. A lot of places in Florida have rules and regulations about build heights. I don't believe, well, not build height, but I don't believe some places allow you to have a second story. So maybe it replaces that with depth. Because look at this. This is quite oh, we can scroll? Oh no, that's just scrolling back and forth. Again, it's really well decorated inside. 2 fans is quite luxurious. In St. Cloud, Florida. I don't know where exactly in Florida that is. I know depending on where you are in Florida, things can change very much. However, with this really high up arrow, I'm going to assume that the area is a really nice area. I'm going to go 600,000. Not 500, 600,000. And what does this net us? I think it might still be higher, but what I'm trying to do is narrow down exactly how ritzy, I guess, the neighborhood is. And I think this is our best guess for determining that. It might be much higher, it might be much lower. We don't know. But let us guess. It's still much higher. Oh my, that's a beautiful kitchen. Is this the same area? Blah blah blah. Cabinets and whatnot. Counter. Wow. Alright, that doesn't give it... It's a single family home. But it is just huge. And I believe... Let's go 925,000. That's a nice little guess. Finally, we get much lower. Okay. Alright, and we get 3 beds, 2.5 baths. Okay, so we guessed... It was much higher than 600,000, much lower than 925,000. Let's go... Okay, yeah, we can see it from here. I think it's closer to my guess of 600,000, but I'm going to guess 750,000. Let us guess that. It is a little bit higher than 750, so we're within 1%. Sorry, was it 1%? 2% or 10,000? Let me check the rule. Well, we don't have to. Let's just keep going. Built 2005. That might be why everything looks so modern, up to date. And that means this house probably doesn't have a lot of work to be done on it. Alright. It's a little bit higher than that. So, what would it be with... That would be... Let's go 800,000. 810,000. That's a solid guess. A bit lower than that. Oh, there's a barn out back. Oh my. I knew this was had a ton of space, but a barn. Wow. 310 square, sorry, 3,010 square feet. That's a lot. I don't necessarily have a big perspective on that, but that is a lot. All right, so it's between 750 and 810,000. Let's go 775. There we go. It's still higher than that. Alright. We have a nice little porch. Let's go 790. Not 79, but 790. Wow, it's... We have 2 guesses left. Oh, this is a beautiful aerial view. Oh, wow. The land's even bigger than I thought. I think I saw this back there and assumed it was a house, but no, it looks like a second barn. Like, this little square here is enough to be a giant home. You add this giant rectangle that more than doubles it. Oh, wow. But it looks like this house is going to be roughly $800,000. Oh. Oh my. Oh my. You can't see this. So let me, let me scroll up. The actual price of the home, the list price, as you can see, $865,000. It sold from less than that. In the previous price, $346,000. What it actually sold for, $799,999. $1 less than our guess of $800,000. Isn't that just the funniest? All right. That is incredible. Property is something that I don't try to understand. It just goes up and up. The prices. It's quite crazy. It's becoming more and more unaffordable for the average man, which is unfortunate. But I want to be an optimistic channel, so let us move to a different topic. Like my Pokemon Nuzlocke that I am starting for this channel. Definitely started. Have my starter. Have a lot of things so far. Barely scratched the game though. I just have my 3 Pokemon. And we're going to do it. And we're going to take on Fire Red and Leaf Green together. This video won't be out for a long while. So I hope I can make it worth the wait. But as always, thank you all for watching. It's always a blast to record these for you. And for myself really. And I'm just very happy. I believe I forget if I said it in the last video or... No, I definitely said it in the last video. But, you know, I'll just say it again, regardless. We recently crossed 1,000 views, which is ridiculous to me. Thank you all so much. For all the support you always show me. It is just incredible. And, as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. See ya.